Hey everybody, welcome. It is Monday evening um, on April the 28th. It has been a good evening, except for the fact that hubby got home late. And also, I wanted to share, I've rearranged my room a tad bit, just the desk area, I guess. So now you're seeing more of the room behind me instead of just the wall. Haven't got it all completely set up exactly like I want it or need it, but we have a live tonight. So let's have a happy Monday. And I'm going to show you the cards that we did in card class. I was gone all most of the week last week, and then Saturday and Sunday was playing catch up. So we're just going to do the cards that we did in card class on Monday night, or Friday night. How about that? Quick and easy, lemon squeezy. All right. And also stay tuned to my email because there is some exciting news coming for Friday and Saturday. I think it's Friday and Saturday. It could be Thursday and Friday. But there's some exciting news coming. So I can't wait to share that. And also know that Friday, May 2nd is National Scrapbooking Day. Let me see the words that they used. I've got it on my calendar over here, I think. Yes, National Scrapbooking Day. So we are going to be able to watch on the Stampin' Up's Facebook page and participate in a scrapbooking event with them, or you can just watch it and all of that fun jazz. All right, you came to watch me craft. You didn't come to hear all of the announcements, but thank you for indulging me. Let me see if I've got it set up to share my screen like I'm supposed to. Again, I had this all tore apart and now it's setting on something a little more solid. So there we go. Let's make that be out that way a little bit. Okay, so for the first card, I'm just going to grab one out of the container. We will do this one. Okay. Here is what it looks like. I use what is the name of that designer series paper? Let me grab that while you're enjoying the cards. Timeless Plaid. Woo, I knew right where to grab it from too, huh? That is an undertaking in itself. All right, so Timeless Plaid. So depending on which sentiment I'm gonna grab, you can put it either way. I wanted you to see that you can kind of overlap them. It doesn't have a border all the way around that heartfelt hexagon punch, or you can make it have a little bit of a border on the top and the bottom or the sides. So let's play with that. We're going to use some of these 23-25 in color opaque sparkle dots. We will go ahead and cut that punch out. I'm going to make mine go this direction, see if I can get another one or two out of that. I'm like, where did I put my trash? Right there. But we're not quite ready for that yet. And we're using boho blue. That's boho blue cardstock. I'm telling you guys, it's coming close. May the 6th is when the new catalog goes live, and I am going to miss this boho blue a lot. All right, so when I do card class, I package my kits together like that. So it's got 2 envelopes and all the materials to make 2 cards. So we're just going to make one. I'm going to grab that one. Basic white for the center, boho blue, mossy meadow layer, and I already got the designer series paper. This is basic beige. I'm going to slide those back in there and back in the container. I will continue stamping after a while to get all of those caught up and ready to wrap up. Bone folder, it's where it's supposed to be hiding for me or waiting on me. And then I'm just going to flip all of these and start layering. My adhesive went for a walkabout. It really did. All right, I got another one. When you're rearranging stuff, things do tend to not be where you left them or thought you did. But I'll find it later. Let's just use this one. This is a 3.5 by 3.5. That makes that 3.25 by 3.25. And that's little square is 3 by 3. Because the timeless plaid is 6 by 6, I wanted to get 4 cards out of each piece. So 3 by 3 it is. Sometimes you just need a little bit, and that makes it pop and be a whole lot. Now let's try something. Nope, too big for that. And I don't, it's going to go on straight. And my glass mat is rocking on this. I'm going to have to put some extra little feet underneath it to help it not rock on me. I'm going to try to make sure that it's got about the same amount here on all 3 of those sides. Just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, it's handmade. This is 4 by 5.25. It goes on the inside. Even though basic beige is still kind of light, I just feel like it adds a little bit of a sophistication to a card to have a different layer inside there. And that is crooked, crooked, crooked. All right, let's pop that up. Without getting a paper cut would be preferred. There we go. Much better. All right, there's that piece. Now we need our scrap white. I'm just going to go ahead and punch it. I try to get every little piece of possibility of paper cardstock that I can. All right, that guy is ready to close up shop. Let's see. Thinking of you and praying and hoping with you. I don't have the right words to say. What other words are in that? This is from the stamp set, Comforting Thoughts. I think I'm going to use Wishing You Comfort. Hope this is a feeling better kind of day. I like all of these in here. Okay. Let's use Hope this is a feeling better kind of day. Let's get a little block. Y'all, I missed standing up when I was demonstrating. I missed it because in the other room, my desk was this height. I just made it kind of shrink. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have showed you. I conditioned that by rubbing it on my pant leg. That just kind of gets the silicone oils off of it from popping it out of the die. All right. and tap, tap, tap. And it's going to go on here this direction. Pushed it a little hard, that's okay. And then I'm going to get this boho blue heartfelt hexagon. I'm going to cut it in half. Put some adhesive on these pieces. If you're afraid you're going to get adhesive on your grid sheet, you can use your silicone mat. Then I'm going to keep it in the view of the camera and go just like that. And like that. And now we've got a border around it. Now let's grab some dimensionals. Yes, I probably use more than is necessary, but I don't want any saggy. Oh, I don't know. There it is. If you've watched my videos before, you know this little cup resides on my desk specifically to catch the dimensional backs. All right, let's stick it on here. And then some of these sparkle gems. If you did card class and you made these cards, thank you for hanging in there watching. You don't really have to, but I appreciate every like and subscribe and watch and all of that fun. Thank you. All right, there's that one. So let's put that one to the side. Next, let's do this one. All right. It's going to look similar to this. This is from the beautiful Bokeh paper, designer series paper. This is Bubble Bath, and that's Melon Mambo. And these gems are Sunny Day Iridescent Dots, Melon Mambo, Pumpkin Pie, and Summer Splash. Here's our blends. We need one of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our little octagon and 2 sets of leaves. And then the rest of this can go right back in here. All right, let's assemble part of this and then we will do the rest. Okay, up there and over there upside down. So this is 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. It's like all of it gets. And then here's our basic white piece for the inside. Let's see if I can get this one a little straighter this time than I did the other one. Yay. All right. Melon Mambo goes down on the front. It is also 4 by 5 1/4. Straight down the middle. And then this beautiful bokeh is 3 3/4 by 5. I just basically step it down 1/4 of an inch for each of the layers. And then before we put this on, let's stamp "Thanks so much" on it using Melon Mambo. Go there. I'm getting me a little collection of stamps over here that's got ink on them. I'll clean them when we get done. All right, this is going to go on flat. Find it in the middle. Our leaves are going to go right here and they're going to be covered. So I'm going to put some adhesive down. There, let's add a little bit to the top of that one. The Memorable Blooms, I don't want this leaf hanging off, so that's why I did that. Okay. The Memorable Blooms die stamp set comes with dies, well, as a bundle. All right, so now let's stamp our flower. I'm going to use my faux tuxedo memento ink that I've made my own ink pad using the craft white ink pad and the black ink refill. Thank you, Melissa Winko, for that tip. All right, I'm going to lay this over here because it's a little bigger and I really don't want to put my hand in it. All right, I am going to put some light Melon Mambo kind of around the centers. I'll try to color fast so you're not sitting here all night, but yet so you can still see. And here's another flower. Nope, right here's another one. Thought I had them all done. Yes, I talked to myself. Don't we all? All right, and now let's use some dark bubble bath. Kind of laying it on its side so I don't mess up the tip. Blend those little gills right in. Let's get this one while we're over here. I know sometimes I die cut and then color. This one seemed to have just grabbed the colors. So however you prefer. Sometimes I like to stamp and then die cut. That way, if I'm coloring a lot, I know that I have a better chance of not messing it up. But I do like to have more of the design or more paper to hold on to, I guess, while I'm coloring is what I'm trying to say. Oh, that's a leaf or a petal. I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook page, my roses. Oh my hubby helped me do very well out there. Those roses are just gorgeous. Could go out there and sit next to them and smell them all day. And it doesn't bother my allergies. Oh, here's a baby one I forgot. Okay. Let's do some highlights with the black or the old olive. You can be as detailed or as light-handed as you want. Oh, I missed a flower. Let's make that one be a little bit darker. There we go. And Remember, you got the dark old olive in your hand, Brenda. Don't make them too dark. Unless you want all of your leaves to be that dark. All right, now let's get the light. I'm going to do the bigger leaves and then I'm going to change it to the bullet tip. Um, with these, you don't have to push hard. You just kind of stroke it like a little paintbrush. And it puts the color right down on there. All right. Small spaces. I want more control, so I'm going to use the other tip. Oh, there's a big one. Okay, that one looks good. All right, let's grab the die cut machine. Hold on. Still don't have, here's the dies. My table set up like I want to be able to not jiggle the table, but we're going to try. All right. And then this larger die. We're getting there. It's one step closer, right? And sometimes that's all we can ask for is one step closer. I think I'm going to have to change out my plates because that bottom one is pretty worn out. I almost didn't cut that out. Okay. All right, now let's pop it over and put some dimensionals on there. And one more. Oh, get it over so it doesn't hang off the side of the card. All right. Now some of these cute little guys. Here. All right. There's that one. One more really quick. Let's see how quick it is. Whoops, sorry. On this one, I used the stamp set Sweetly Scripted to give us our sentiment, and it says happy birthday. So That's what I'm going to make as another birthday card. Because you can't have too many of those, right? Okay. One piece, one piece, two. Shut that off real quick. Need one of those and one of those. And we're good to go. I teased the girls and said, or the ladies in the class, because all of these had to be popped out. And I did it on the cards that I demonstrated Friday night, but I did not do it on all of theirs. So they still had some little parts and pieces to pop out. And I got blessed and got one that didn't have that much for demonstrating with. So yay for me. All right, so we are going to fold this so we can lay it out of our way. That's thick basic white, normal cardstock size. This piece, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive around the edges to hold our designer series paper on. That is from the perennial lavender suite so that I could get purple. A little bit closer. And I just want this, I think it's 3.5. It is 3.5 by 3.5. I want it to cover up that octagon. So it's got adhesive here and on those two corners. That's good. So, and I should have stamped first. My silicone mat because that's got some adhesive there. I don't want it sticking to my paper. We are going to use Happy Birthday from that Sweetly Scripted and Gorgeous Grape. Didn't make it back in the box. And I'm going to stamp it right here. It's okay to stamp on the silicone mat. It'll wipe right off. Perfect. Move this one here with its inked up buddies. And now we're ready to lay this out of the way as well because it's got ink on it. And put it on our card front. Yeah, I know. That was hoping it to not be wobbly. I'll find something else. Oh, get back up in the light. There we go. A stack of dimensionals work great. Okay, now let's put this on with a little bit of liquid adhesive. Oh, and I didn't put the lid back on that. But I have a straight pin. Right in my line of sight so that I don't lose it. So you just need a little thin line. If I would have had it with me while I was cutting this out, I would have used adhesive sheets. But it was at home and I was not when I was cutting. You don't want a big blob because it will gush. And I just wanted to hold it down. And I've got a few birthdays coming up that I need to send cards to. And so this is going to work I'm gonna put a dot over here, kind of hold that stuff down. Fits right inside there, just like so. All right, that part of our card is ready. I mean, that's beautiful just like it is. However, let's add a little pop of color. Put our lid back on our glue. We're thinking about it. I am going to stamp those in black. Stamp 2 of them. This is Highland Heather. Get that on back good. And shaded spruce. So let's start with our leaves on this one. Two shaded spruces. Yep, that one must have been a little dry. Again, just like you're painting. So you don't have to smash it like a color crown. And you don't want to hear the squeak, 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 squeak like some markers do. Again, I just, sorry, my mouth stops moving when I start coloring. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. All right, Highland Heather. Give it a little bit more definition there. Again, you color like you like to color. And coloring, I feel like, can be very therapeutic. I'm not saying to let it replace your therapy. I'm saying it can help. Sometimes for me, it just, like, obviously you've noticed that when I start coloring, I tend to stop talking. So it just, all my focus is right there. And it just feels like everything else is on hold or on pause for a few minutes. And sometimes that's really good. If you've seen the calendar ahead of time for our cards class schedules in person, I did have to move the birthday card class again. I have to be out of work or out of town for work. I'll be coming home on that Wednesday. Hubby will be here with the kiddos. Yes, I know they're fur kiddos, but I can also tell you they miss their people when you're not home. So I try to get all of my stuff done and then take the laptop in there and sit with them. They're used to having mom at home. So the card class has moved to May the 16th for the birthday card class. And I will get that calendar posted hopefully tonight. So we can start planning, and probably won't have I may have the sign up form ready. Let's see. All right. Here's that. Now we're going to use these little die, that little one, and cut 2 of those. If you are afraid it will move on you when you go to put the top plate, feel free to use a Post-it note, a piece of wall safe tape, a piece of washi tape, painter's tape, anything that's not super, super sticky because you don't want it to ruin your coloring. And I've got that set on my desk on a grid sheet, so it's wiggling, sorry. There's one. I tend to, I'll give you my little tip. I've shoved that in a little ways, and then I put the end of the plate in under, and it gets held like you can, got a little pressure. And then I just sandwich it and I push down on it, and that holds it in place for me. So I don't always have to use that piece of washi tape. That back on the magnetic plate so I don't lose it. You get to go back over to the big table. You guys get to come back over here because I need to show you in a minute. All right. For these, the placement, one is going to go. Let's put dimensionals on the back of this first, because the second one doesn't need as many because it'll be layering on top of this one. There. So I'm going to put dimensionals 2 over here. Just like so. All right. And these, I use a little one of the tiny bee trinkets. And because they don't have adhesive on the back of them, I'm using the glue dots, and I'm kind of rolling it up a little bit, like so. Put it where I want it. Then I'm going to use the sticky end or the putty end of the Take Your Pick tool and put the bee right on it, because that's too tiny for me to pick up with my fingers. So there's you a couple more little tips. How cool is that? All right, there are the cards for tonight. Let me pull them back in. These are both from Memorable Blooms. Where's that stamp set? The Thanks So Much is from that stamp set. Happy Birthday is from Sweetly Scripted. And then I pulled in Comforting Thoughts and made that card. Let's slide. All right, there's the 3 cards for tonight. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a little bit of fun. And I hope that may have learned a little something, maybe. I don't know. How many people like to color? You can comment, like, and tell me about that. Just stay tuned, subscribe to the newsletter. It's in the comment section of this, or you'll find it on my Facebook page as well, because there is something exciting coming Friday. I know for sure Friday is one of the days from Stampin' Up, and I can't wait to share it with you. I hope that you have a good week. Do something fun for yourself, and we will